Last time, on Apex Bound, Goku's peaceful life shattered when a beam of ancient energy struck him out of nowhere, golden symbols exploding across his skin, ancient memories flooding a mind that wasn't fully his own. Beerus and Whis traced the beam back to a forgotten temple, where a black crystal, sealed for millions of years, cracked open. Inside, a prophecy: when the final descendant awakens, the first king shall rise again. Then Zeythar appeared, the last guardian of the First Saiyan Bloodline, and told Goku the truth. Modern Saiyans are only a broken fragment of what his ancestors once were. As the crystal shattered completely, the being trapped inside finally woke. Ethon, the first king, he crossed the universe in silence, bending gravity and erasing stars without lifting a hand. Beerus realized too late. This was never about destruction. It was about succession. Now, Ethon stands between Earth and the Moon, waiting for Goku to make the first move. Goku stared at the motionless silhouette suspended between Earth and the Moon. Every instinct told him to charge forward. But something ancient in him whispered this wasn't a fight to rush into blindly. Vegeta stepped beside him, his aura flickering with restrained tension. "Well, are we just going to stare at him all day, Kakarot?" "He's not attacking," Goku said quietly. "He's waiting for me." Zeythar's rings slowed, his expression graver than they'd ever seen. "Then understand this before you go. Ethon does not fight the way mortals fight. If you go to him unprepared, you will not lose a battle. You will lose yourself." Whis floated closer, staff still glowing faintly. "Beerus and I cannot interfere directly. This event predates our authority." Beerus clenched his fists. "So we're supposed to just watch?" "For now," Whis said. Gohan landed nearby, breathless. "I've never felt pressure like this, not even from Beerus." "What's your tone?" Beerus muttered, though there was no real bite behind it. Even he looked unsettled. Goku turned to Vegeta. "Stay back this time." "Like hell I will, Vegeta." His voice was calmer than any of them had heard from him before. "If I lose control up there, I don't want you caught in it." Vegeta said nothing for a long moment. Then, reluctantly, he crossed his arms. "Fine, 10 minutes, Kakarot. Then I'm coming anyway." Goku rose into the sky, his aura spiraling unstable behind him, and shot toward the waiting figure between Earth and Moon. He stopped several meters away. "I'm here. Say what you came to say." Ethon studied him with the patience of something that had waited far longer than a lifetime. "You've grown stronger than I expected. Your ancestors would be surprised. I didn't come for compliments. You came because some part of you already knows what I am." "And what you are? Then tell me." Ethon lifted a hand, not to attack, but almost gently. "You are the vessel of the First Bloodline. The throne I held before the erasure was never destroyed. It slept inside you. I am not here to kill you, Son Goku. I am here to reclaim what was always mine." Pressure rippled outward from the words alone. Goku's knees buckled, not from force, but from something aimed at the ancient part of himself, still waking up. "Reclaim it how?" "You surrender the throne back to me, willingly. Your memories, your family, the name Son Goku, all of it fades. What remains returns to what it was always meant to be. Mine, again." Goku's eyes widened. "You're asking me to disappear. I am asking you to return what was borrowed." Below, Zeythar's rings stopped rotating entirely, the first time they ever had. Whis glanced toward him. "You knew this was his intention." "I hid Goku's power at birth against Ethon's wishes," Zeythar admitted. "I was meant to let it awaken the moment he was born. Instead, I sealed it. I gave him a real life first. I hoped it would be enough time to make him strong enough to refuse." Beerus turned sharply. "You defied a being like that." "I did," Zeythar said. "Now we find out if the gamble was worth it." Above, Goku's fists clenched, symbols burning brighter along his arms. "I'm not disappearing. Not for a throne I never asked for. Something shifted in Ethon's face, not anger, closer to sorrow. Then you misunderstand. This was never a threat, it was mercy. What comes next, I offer none. His rings expanded, straining the fabric of space itself. Last chance, kneel, and it ends painlessly. Goku's aura exploded outward, 4 powers merging into something unnamed. I've never been good at kneeling. Then let's see what you actually are. Ethon closed the distance with certainty, not speed. The first strike sent tremors through the moon's surface. Vegeta staggered from the shockwave even from Earth. That's not a fight, he muttered. That's a correction. 4 minutes, Goku fought with everything he had. Ultra Instinct, Blue, God Ki, the unstable golden black force, and still Ethon barely moved, deflecting each blow with quiet, almost pitying patience. You fight well, Ethon said, catching Goku's fist without effort, for a fragment. Goku poured everything into breaking free, and the moment his fist connected with nothing but resistance, the world around him dissolved. He was no longer in space. He stood in a golden hall beneath floating stars, surrounded by warriors radiating quiet, natural power. At the center of the hall, a younger Ethon, crowned, unscarred, eyes full of warmth rather than ice, knelt before an infant Saiyan wrapped in golden light. You will carry the weight of an empire, young Ethon whispered to the child, and I pray you never have to. The vision cracked like glass. Goku gasped back into his own body, drifting in space, Ethon's hand still gripping his fist. You saw it, Ethon said quietly, the day I gave up my own bloodline to protect the next one. You said you wanted the throne back, Goku forced out. Not this. I want what's owed, Ethon said. Whether I want it is a different question entirely. Down below, Beerus finally snapped. I don't care what predates my authority. If that thing so much as scratches this planet, I am ending him myself. Lord Beerus, Whis said, if you interfere now, you may awaken something even Ethon fears. Zeythar's eyes flicked toward Whis sharply. You know something? I suspect, Whis said. I do not yet know. Ethon tightened his grip, lifting Goku slightly off an invisible plane of force. You carry 4 powers stitched together by desperation rather than mastery. Impressive, and exactly why you will lose. Goku's eyes flickered between silver, blue, and gold. Then I'll find a 5th. There is no 5th, Ethon said, almost gently. There is only the one you were always meant to become, and you are refusing it. Then, without warning, a new light bloomed in the darkness beside them. Not gold, not silver, but a deep violet neither of them recognized. Ethon's grip loosened instantly. For the first time since his awakening, his composed expression shattered into something unmistakable. Shock. That's impossible, he whispered. She's supposed to be sealed too. The violet light dimmed, just enough to reveal her fully, tall, regal, her long silver violet hair drifting weightlessly, as if underwater. Unlike Ethon's cold golden black rings, hers pulsed slow and deliberate, a soft violet glow tracing intricate markings down both arms, markings that looked less like a warrior's brand and more like a crown carved into skin. Her eyes were not gold like Ethon's, but a pale amethyst, ancient and unreadable, and her expression held something far more dangerous than he's ever had. Amusement. Zeythar's rings seized entirely, freezing mid-rotation. His face showed something close to panic. No, he breathed, not her. Anyone but her. Whis turned sharply. You know who this is. Zeythar didn't answer. He didn't need to. Hello, Ethon, she said, voice calm and ancient. It's been a while. Ethon, who hadn't shown a flicker of fear against Goku's full assault, took a slow step backward in open space. The first retreat he'd made since waking. You were sealed, he said, quieter than before. Beneath the second moon of Sodala. I made certain of it myself. You did, she agreed, almost fondly, and yet, here I am. Goku, drifting weakly between them, forced his golden eyes open. Who are you? Her amethyst gaze shifted to him, studying him the way one studies an old, half-finished painting. "Someone your friend," she said. Glancing at Ethon, "Hoped you'd never have to meet." She tilted her head slightly. "My name is Virael. I was queen once, before Ethon decided the throne needed only one bloodline instead of two." Ethon's jaw tightened. "That is not what happened." "No," Virael said softly. "It's simply the part you've spent 1,000,000 years trying to forget." She turned back to Goku, and for the first time, her expression softened into something almost gentle. "You poor thing. He's told you half a story and let you nearly die for it." She extended a hand toward him, violet light curling from her fingertips. "Let's fix that." Virael's hand remained extended toward Goku, violet light curling gently from her fingertips. "Let's fix that," she said again, softer this time. Ethon moved before Goku could answer. In an instant, he placed himself between them, golden black rings flaring wide. "Do not touch him." Virael's amethyst eyes didn't waver. "Careful, Ethon. Possessiveness was always your flaw, not mine. You lost the right to interfere the day you broke the accord." "I broke nothing," Virael said, her voice cooling for the first time. "I refuse to watch you erase an entire bloodline to protect your precious throne. That is not the same as breaking an accord. That is called having a conscience." Down on Earth, Zeythar's rings had begun rotating again, faster now, agitated. "We studied him carefully. You still haven't told us who she is." "Virael," Zeythar said finally, the name clearly costing him something to speak. "The first queen. Ethon's equal in every way that mattered, until the day he decided equal wasn't good enough." Beerus's eyes narrowed. "Equal how? Power, authority," Zeythar said. "The first bloodline was never meant to run through one throne. It was meant to run through two. His and hers, balance, by design. Ethon severed that design the day he sealed her away and claimed the whole inheritance for himself." Gohan's voice was barely a whisper. "So this isn't a war between a king and Goku. It's a war between a king and his own queen. And Goku," Piccolo said grimly, "is standing directly in the middle of it." Above, floating weakly between the two ancient beings, Goku forced himself to speak. "I didn't ask to be in the middle of anyone's war." Both Ethon and Virael turned to him at the same moment, and for just a heartbeat, their expressions matched. Surprise, as if they'd both forgotten, in their argument, that he was still there. "No," Virael said slowly. "You didn't." She lowered her hand, violet light fading slightly. "But you are the only vessel capable of ending it. One way or the other." Ethon's jaw tightened. "There is only one way it ends. He returns the throne, the bloodline reunites. Balance restored under a single crown, as it should have been from the start." "Your crown," Virael said quietly, "the only one that survived. Because you made certain of that." For the first time, something raw slipped through Virael's calm. Not rage, but old grief. "I did not choose to disappear. Ethon, you chose it for me." The space around them rippled violently, gravity fracturing in ways even we struggled to track on his staff. Down below, Bulma's readings spiked into complete chaos. "Whis, I'm losing the ability to even measure what's happening up there." "That," was said quietly, "is because the forces beyond current measurement are remembering why they once went to war." Goku, drifting between them, felt the ancient golden symbols on his arms pulse in response to the rising tension. Not painfully this time, but insistently, like something inside him recognized this argument on a level deeper than memory. "Stop," he said. Neither of them did. "Stop." The single word carried more force than either expected, a raw burst of the golden black energy exploding outward from him involuntarily, pushing both ancient beings back several meters despite their combined power. Silence followed. Ethon and Virael both stared at him, something like reassessment crossing both their faces simultaneously. You did that without even realizing what you drew on, Virael said, almost impressed. I don't care about your war, Goku said, breathing hard. I don't care about thrones, or bloodlines, or whatever balance the two of you broke 1,000,000 years ago. I have a family. I have a planet full of people who are terrified right now because of what's happening between you two. That's what I care about. Ethon's expression flickered, something almost like respect. Spoken like someone who has never had to rule anything. Maybe, Goku said, but I'd rather protect something than rule it. Virael tilted her head, studying him with renewed interest. There it is, she murmured, mostly to herself. The thing he could never sense in you, Ethon, because he only ever looked for power, not character. Ethon said nothing, but for the first time, his composed mask cracked just slightly at the edges. I'm not giving up who I am, Goku continued, voice steadying. Not for a throne, not for a bloodline, not for either of you. Then you leave us only one option, Ethon said quietly. The bloodline decides for itself, through combat, as it always has. Virael's eyes flashed. You would drag him into our fight. He's already in it, Ethon said. The moment he refused to kneel, he chose a side. Whether he understands it or not, violet and gold and black energy both surged at once, the space around all three of them beginning to fracture visibly, cracks of pure white light spreading outward like shattering glass across the vacuum of space. Down on Earth, Zeythar's rings froze entirely once more. They're not fighting each other, he said, horror dawning in his voice. They're both about to pull directly from him. Whiss's staff flared in alarm. If they draw on the origin blood simultaneously, it won't survive the strain, Zeythar finished. Neither will he. Above, Goku felt both ancient wills close around him at once, not attacking, but pulling, each trying to claim the power inside him of their own. His vision blurred, the golden and violet light merging violently around his body, until he could no longer tell where either presence ended and his own began. Through the haze, he heard both voices at once, speaking not to each other, but directly into the ancient blood running through him. Ethon, choose the throne. Virael, choose yourself. And in that instant, suspended between two gods pulling him in opposite directions, Goku understood with sudden, terrifying clarity. This was never a fight he could win by strength. It was a fight he could only survive by deciding, once and for all, exactly who he intended to be.